outside my window. That
All
was
right,
cool.
so we are getting in the game right now. We have the 3-minute delay, and let's talk about these teams. We do not see any of the bans, but on blue side, we do have Final Valkyrie playing on Graves, Archangel 420 on Leona, Yukarilt on Nautilus, Mimi Love on Ari, and Thrar on Rise. On the purple side, we have the Salos. The Salos. Is that how the Salos? That's how I'm saying it. On Jarvan. Kira on Nami. The Master Orion on Karthus. Jesus? Really? Really, guys? Jesus? That guy on Fizz. And Daito Shoken on Caitlyn.
Both
So,
teams running the double AP comp, which is and plus a Nautilus. Is the blue team Team 9 or Book Club?
uh,
Anyone?
Blue Club, best book club is A Folk. What? Seal, please, what does this mean? Alright, I have no clue. So if anybody in the chat knows, you guys should let us know. For starts though, what do you think? What are your predictions, Ari, for this game?
I'm gonna go with just strictly on picks. I'm gonna go with the purple team, just because you can build magic resist and completely negate most of this team's damage. Like Graves is their only source of AD, and Graves has a really short range. Doesn't have a great late game. Like with the Fizz on the assassin and Jarvan who can just get right into team fights, I think Graves is going to have a really hard time. So I'm going to go with the purple team.
Alright, I can definitely see the purple team taking a really strong lead in this. I mean, Karthus is a super late game carry, and you have that Jarvan ult to keep everybody in there. Fizz is just going to jump around and going to get somebody like Ari, just insta-kill them. And Nami's just going to tidal wave through everybody, and everybody's going to be trapped in Jarvan ult, so everyone is going to be knocked off. I mean, that is a perfect peel and sustained fight comp that purple team has. On the other hand, blue team has a really late game comp as well. I mean, Rise is really late game. I guess not really late game. Well, Rise is more late game than most people, but it's like their team is like the other team is all about catching. This is really a team fight versus catching team right now. Nautilus is great at catching. RV's great at catching. Leona's great at catching. So if they can single somebody out with great ward placement, they'll be able to take the fights. But if purple team can get that initiate on and get like 2 or 3 people in Jarvan ult, that's game over for them. Karthus is just going to go in, zone out their carries, do a lot of damage to everybody inside. Nami gets a knock up on everybody. Fizz assassinates the carry. So it's going to be very strong team fight versus catching. And we're going to see how this game plays
I
out.
think the best strategy that the blue team can go for here is try to shut Fizz down early, because without Fizz really being able to go in and assassinate someone, I think that's really going to hurt their team. So they've either got to shut down Karthus early or Fizz, one of the two. I think that's going to be the key to success here. Caitlyn, Nami, lots of really good peel. I mean, between Nami's knockups, her slows, Caitlyn's range and escapes, Karthus wall, I think it's going to be really hard to dive the back line. So Graves has to. This game for the blue team is all going to rely on Graves and whether or not he can become really tanky and just be able to shred through Jarvan when he dives in on the team. Because if he can avoid Jarvan, then that's going to make it really difficult for Fizz to get to him. So
I don't know. I mean,
that's what it's mostly going to rely on.
I don't think Fizz is going to be jumping on Graves. I think Fizz is going to be jumping on Ari. You already have Karthus just kind of pushing Graves out of the fight by himself. And Caitlyn's just going to be wrecking whoever's in Jarvan's ult. So I think Fizz is really going to focus really hard on Ari. I mean, with his Q, that's an on target. That's going to connect regardless. So that connects. Your Shark is going to connect right after. Ari does have the ability to dodge that, and it's going to be on her to show up those mechanics.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ari can just dodge everything. Like if he uses his pull to get in to Ari, she can easily just ult away from him and then charm him and just blow him up before he can even really get to her. the 3 dashes plus a flash, like she should have no problem dodging everything that Fizz has.
So we are in the game right now. So looks like everybody's going to slowly buy all their items because the loading time was so long. All right, that joined out. That was far less exciting than I thought it would be.
The Rejuve beat on Fizz.
That's an interesting pickup. I'm not sure what I feel about that.
Ah,
But he is going top lane. Keep that in mind. He is going top lane, I believe. So it makes a little more sense. I still don't really like it, but you know, it's actually probably Karthus top. He does have that teleport. I don't know what I'm thinking, but you know, whatever. But this is this. Both teams level 1 strategies coming out. Looks like blue team is all going to be grouping up. Change. Yeah. Oh.
a little early game warding here from the purple. Did we find out team names yet? Who's who?
Book club is blue apparently. It's just the bees, you know, blue
Okay.
book best club. The
Okay.
bees everywhere. Did you
So-
even have to ask? No, I'm just kidding.
Team 9 and the book clubs. Is it just book club?
Best book club.
Best book club.
Like
Not just an
your mom would
ordinary
be jealous
book club.
if
The best book club.
I mean, my mom would love to join this book club. Like, you know, she loves reading, especially like, you know, religious books. She reads those scripts. But
Well, I'll look into DusilB's life, everyone. Back to the game here. Doesn't look like we have any early aggression coming out. Team 9 really putting down some early wards on their red buff and at the banana bush on Dragon side. So
that's a really smart play for them though, because if blue team decided to invade on their red, they would know immediately and they'd be able to circle around for the engagement.
I'm kind of
That was
surprised
really smart for
Nami
them.
just didn't use the sight ward or the explorer word.
I do think the Explorer ward should have gone down instead. They did just use a lot of regular wards for their lane, and that's gonna hurt them a lot. At least for those early ganks. So Ari already getting aggressive, getting a couple auto attacks in on Karthus while he tries the CS.
Karthus really has to be scared of Ari too. Ari can easily interrupt every one of his ults because she can dash to get in position really easily and then throw out her charm, and that'll completely stop the Karthus ult. And Nami's burst is actually really good. It'll be interesting to see if she maxes Q to try to match some of the split push that Karthus can throw out, or if she goes with the W max. So let's see how that goes.
I think Ari should always be maxing Foxfire. Foxfire just does so much damage, and it's guaranteed damage. Guaranteed
I agree.
Damage
I
is
always
so
max
strong.
W.
So
I always max Foxfire first. I usually start with Charm, just because you don't really need the wave clear early, and if you can land an easy Charm, you can get like 2 or 3 free autos. But you know, to each his own.
So it looks like this is a fairly passive game so far. I'm surprised Fizz can be so aggressive pushing up when he does only have a regen bead. He's going to be able to take a little bit more of that auto attack harass. So that's, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I don't know if that's something I would have done. Fizz is really great at those all-in situations. So being able to take that to his advantage and just go, you know, I'm level 3, I'm all-inning you right now. And that would have been very powerful. It does look like Nautilus is trying to set up a gank, but purple team does have a ward in the river, so I'm not sure how far this will get.
Yeah, she's got traps set up pretty well on the bot lane. Ooh, looks like
But
they're gonna go.
there
around
comes
the
Nami.
prison.
Nami's gonna go,
Oh.
and he doesn't go. Nautilus does not take that advantage or that opportunity to go in.
I was
On the other
really
hand-
kind of well. They were blind. They were blind to that. The blue team didn't have a ward there. Best Book Club didn't have a ward, so they didn't know he was coming around. I'm surprised Nami didn't try to Aqua Prison him, and they could have got some really good free damage on Nautilus there.
Oh, but here's Jarvan. Oh, I would have been so happy if Jarvan went in. That would have been so fun to watch.
I think he would have lost that fight versus Nautilus.
He would have lost that fight because blue team's closer to assist.
I think
Let's
he would have
see
lost a
now.
straight up duel, just the shield.
If we look at the
So-
CS right now, Ari is about 7 ahead, 8 ahead now. So it's a little ahead for blue team. We look at Graves versus Caitlyn. Caitlyn is 3 ahead, so they're about even, but Caitlyn is doing some great deny in bottom lane. Nautilus does attempt to gank on Karthus to no avail. So, that's going to give Ari a little more time to just get ahead in that CS though. And I'm going to switch this around because I lied there. And top lane is fairly even in the CS department, 19-2-20. So far, a pretty by the books game.
Yeah, not a whole lot of aggression coming out from either team. Everyone just kind of happy farming. They both are just content right now. Neither jungler, Jarvan, someone you really want to get aggressive with early on, but he's not really hasn't been able to find a gank that he can get to. He's showing top right now, but Nautilus isn't base, so it doesn't look like they'll be making any plays with Dragon. And just continuous farming.
I can't wait to see Karthus do a teleport gank though, because that's gonna be the first big thing. Like Nautilus is gonna go gank bottom or something, and then Karthus is gonna teleport in. There's the defile. There's the wall of walls that slows and does the magic resist reduction and the damages from the Qs. And here's the Nautilus gank, and Nautilus is gonna land a hook and get the passive on. Ari does miss her Q. Not nearly close enough to go in on that.
Ari just wasn't in position. She was level 6. I'm surprised she didn't use her ultimate to get into position. She could have used one Spirit Rush and been right there for a charm to come out as soon as he got that snare off. And I think that would have spelled death for Karthus there if she would have done that. So Karthus now also is 6. So everyone on the map, I really hope that they called out that Karthus is 6, so they'll know when that damage is coming down, and to be wary of, team fights.
So and
here comes the ult, lands the charm.
Oh, and the rest of Ari's damage is going to come down. Nautilus drawing first blood, and they are going to get away from the, what's it called? What's their passive? The passive that just disappeared. Death defied. Leona taking a lot of harass though, and here comes Nautilus for the gank, and he is gonna just back off.
Not able to follow up there.
No, he is gonna go back in.
Forces a flash.
Does not get his passive on. He does get the flash. He does get the flash.
So that's an alright trade. Now Leona can really go super aggressive now that flash is burned. She still does have the exhaust, so. Nothing too crazy. They've got really good disengage between the slows on Nami with her Tidecaller's Blessing and her knock up with the Aqua Prison.
I do really like that Nautilus did buy a ward and just place it at Dragon. Gives Leona a little more like support kind of, because Leona's falling behind a little bit as far as gold. Although they just pick up their Philosopher's Stones at the same time, so that's gonna be actually, it's not gonna be too far behind, but it seems like definitely purple team has been pressing a little bit of a lead until that first blood.
Fizz keeping up really well with Fizz here in CS.
And here's the all-in.
And
Fizz does knows that Rise is out of mana, and there goes the fish, and Shark Nose goes up, but Fizz does not keep going. Fizz, if you kept going, I think that would have been GG. Rise is out of mana, so he has nothing to contest with.
That's too bad. Just didn't recognize that his mana pool was low and misses out on a really good opportunity to take control of that lane. Because if you're in lane against Rise and you're not able to get kills, get any kind of, CS advantage, then that's not good for you, because Rise will pretty much out damage and outscale just about everyone late game. He can just 1v5 a team. He becomes a real monster.
Also remember that whenever you play against a champion that has a mana pool, you always want to keep in mind your opponent's mana resource, because that's really important. If Fizz did recognize that Rise was out of mana, that's an easy kill. I mean, you just fish them, you just go up and you keep auto attacking. That's a lot of damage. It does look like Jarvan did just gank mid. blowing Ari's ult, but that is a-okay. Ari's ult is not on too long of a cooldown, only 80 seconds at level 1. That's actually extremely low, and that's partly attributed to that blue buff.
Ari is just really strong right now. I've been playing a lot of Ari myself, and I don't know, she hasn't really been buffed or changed at all. I think, ooh.
And there's no gank once again. That was really smart to come in again right after Ari did blow her her ulti. And here comes the fish, and there's the perfect flash, dodging the fish and the Jarvan knockup. So now they wasted another bunch of time. Ryze is gonna get free farm, and now Fizz is mid. They better take a dragging off this, otherwise this is just not worth it. Caitlyn ult is not gonna be able to kill him, and it looks like they're gonna opt to push down mid tower instead. Oh, and no! The Karthus ult does come in and snipe Ari backing.
Really smart
also
play
put
there.
Down very, very low.
2 long-range ultimates.
It looks like they are going to pick off mid tower with this. And this is going to give them a really big lead.
Oh, Jarvan gets forced to burn his flash. There you, not on the same level with his team. Kind of got caught out there. Almost cost him his life. Had to burn flash.
Just a little bit of miscommunication.
Right now, though, fairly even across the board. The only difference, that tower. But for the most part, we're not seeing a huge difference in CS anywhere. Fizz and Caitlyn both up 10 CS in their opposing lanes for Team 9, but the book club still nothing to worry about yet.
Blue team is going to start dragging right now. And this is something I really like that I really like this play, both because and looks like they do just spend all of their stuff, spend all of their damage CC onto Jarvan. Fizz does escape, and here comes Karthus coming in, but he is not taking enough. Karthus is gonna die, but it's in the pit. Perfect position to get everybody with so much defile damage. Fizz does come in and clean up Karthus, but Caitlyn is just gonna get melted by Ryze. Mimi just running away with Ari. Can Ryze and Mimi clean this up? Fizz is out of mana. Oh no, Ari, you had blue buff, you could have fought that. And they are going to be able to chase down Fizz. Fizz is still out of mana. He might only have enough mana for one jump. Can Ryze get the Runic Prism down? And Fizz does use the jump. And Runic Prism comes down. Charm comes down, and so does the Q. Orb of Deception doing so much damage. And can they pick up the kill? Fizz still juking. And there is the finisher.
Oh!
Fizz doing a great job delaying for all that time. That gave purple team time to come in, but not quite enough damage. Ari doing just astounding on those jukes. Whew.
That fight lasted so long that Jarvan and Karthus were able to wait for their res time. Karthus did use teleport to get down, but still unable to pick up a kill, and so still only that mid tower down. Leona almost back to lane. Graves should be fine here.
I do think that fight is gonna shift. It's gonna shift a lot into blue team's favor. As soon as blue team goes back and buys like they are right now, they're gonna spike in power. Just because they won that fight, they got Dragon, they got a lot of advantages in that. As far as towers, that Dragon just traded with the mid tower. And while mid tower is going to give them purple team more map presence, blue team is just like, we have the gold, we just got more kills than you. We are now 4 kills up, and we're equal on team gold. So they're in a very, very good spot.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to pull ahead, and they're getting kills on the right targets. Karthus already has 3 deaths. Mimi picking up another.
Number 4.
Mimi picking up another easy kill.
Ari just does so much damage at this point in time. I mean, she doesn't even have to land her skill shots. Between 2 procs, a Spirit Rush, and a Foxfire, that's almost 3/4 of Karthus' health. And she already does have level 2 ult, and Karthus is still on level 1. So Karthus couldn't actually. Karthus' ult isn't really a dueling spell anyway. But because Ari has level 2 on hers, she just does so much more damage. She's way more dominating in that lane.
Fizz actually wasted his ult up top, was expecting them to tower dive him there, and looks like it's going to cost him his turret. So blue team, Best Book Club equalizing in objectives here now. Up 1 dragon.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
4, almost 4,000 gold.
Yep. I mean, Best Book Club is just doing such a great job keeping their lead. We got a lead, and we're gonna keep it now. So that they're doing a great job in that, and they're just playing by the book, just correctly, making sure all the lanes are pushed. And it looks like they really want to draw out this laning phase, because Ahri's gonna beat Karthus in this laning phase 1v1 anyway. Ryze is at the point where Fizz can't contest with him anymore. So in a 1v1 situation for both mid and top, blue team's already won those lanes. It's all about bottom now. Can bottom make it out? Because Caitlyn is ahead by 2 kills and 20 CS.
It looks like Team 9's going to lose another turret. Jarvan's not safe in his jungle anymore. They're really going to have to start putting down some defensive wards. Amini's getting caught.
But Ahri she's just able to jump away. It doesn't even matter. You can't gank Ahri post 6.
She did waste her flash there though, since she had... Oh, Jesus.
She did waste her flash there, that is correct. And it does look like we missed a kill on bottom. I was too busy
Bottom
watching
lane
Ahri.
just got obliterated there. They were just evaporated by the Nautilus ult and the Leona ultimate. Everything just lined up there and just further taking this lead. And another smart play, going for that tower, getting more gold. We are going to have Dragon coming up here in a minute at 17:45. So looks like they're going to back probably, buy up, get ready for that next big fight at Dragon. And I think if the Best Book Club is able to win this next fight handedly, that's going to be a real issue for Team 9. Because that's going to put them over 7,000 ahead. And then from that point, I think they're just going to be able to continue to siege down towers and take this game.
Really good job by blue team. I mean, the stars just aligned and they got that perfect play on bottom tower. Yes, I did say the stars aligned. Deal with it.
But it's like I was saying earlier. They're getting all of their kills on the right targets. They're shutting down the Karthus and they're shutting down the Fizz. Fizz at 17 minutes, only at 78 CS, a little bit behind. And he went with the early haunting guys as opposed to just straight up damage, because I think he was a little bit scared of the Ryze in that top lane. So with Fizz being behind and Karthus being behind, Karthus doesn't have any damaging items, and really neither does Fizz. So both of their main sources of damage are really lacking right now.
I really would like to see Fizz pick up a Sheen. I mean, Sheen is just a bread and butter item on Fizz. That should have been first pick. And with that Sheen, you would have been able to bully Ryze out of lane so much more. I mean, Ryze's auto attacks are already fairly weak, but it does look like they're setting up for an engage. Fish does go out on Ahri, and purple team is just jumping in. Perfect positioning by their carries, but is that going to be enough? Blue team is just so much gold on their opponents, and they don't even care.
See, and that's exactly what I was talking about. They won that fight 5-0. Fizz went in, got completely obliterated. Got baited out by Arizonia's Hourglass after landing that ultimate. And then from that point on, there wasn't really a whole lot he could do. And then there's the Dragon. There they are with a 9,000 gold lead now. And this is Best Book Club's game to throw right now. So
I'd also like to point out that was a 4v5. Ryze is still top lane. That was a 4v5, and purple team got perfect positioning, perfect ults. So purple team is going to have to really try pants on right now if they want to bring this game back, because they are falling way too far behind. That was probably the best positioning that they could have had there. I mean, Karthus was on top of the whole team. Jarvan was on top of the whole team. They had everybody trapped, but they just didn't have the damage to pull it through.
Well, it just goes back to none of their AP carries having any source of damage. Fizz went in and just got completely destroyed immediately. He did land his ult on a good target, but then he followed in on it using his playful trickster, and because of that, he had no way to escape, And since he only has 1 rank in it, it has such a high cooldown right now, and there's just nothing he could do. Karthus in the center, but still not able to do a whole lot of damage because he doesn't have any of those damaging items.
With double AP like this, I think I would have liked to see Karthus going for the Abyssal Scepter and Fizz going for that Lich Bane. Fizz can be the assassin, and Karthus, she's just gonna be inside the other team. So once he gets there inside the other team, he has the Abyssal Scepter. You know, they have 1, 2, 3. I'm counting Nami right now. They have 3 sources of magic damage. So that's going to reduce MR by a lot. They have Fizz just going in. Fizz is going to get extra damage with the Sheen proc, and because Abyssal, that would have been a lot. If Karthus just got that Abyssal Scepter, I think these fights would have swung very far in their direction then.
I agree with you. He definitely, like, Karthus getting Azonias, you know, is fine. That's definitely something you want late game. But at this point, you want to just be, you want to be in the middle of the team, soak all that damage, and then when you die, you're still alive for 7 seconds. You throw out, your defile keeps ticking, you throw out your ultimate, and that's what you want to do when he almost hits that hook.
Ooh, quite a few initiates flown, but it looks like Ahri doesn't care. Does not need to land a single skill shot, and she is going to be able to take out Karthus. Their guild advantage is just so high right now. They just need to keep pushing all the lanes up and basically strengthen their stranglehold on the opponent's team.
Yeah. Fizz, oh, almost makes the nice juke.
That was a great hook by Nautilus. I mean, Nautilus just predicted where Fizz was going to end up, and the hook was there when he landed. So that was beautifully done on Nautilus's part. And Rise is going to get in position to pick him off from behind. This is really smart play. Jarvan does go in, and he's going to get CC locked on immediately. Ahri's already in their backline with Rise, and Jarvan and Nami do fall. This is going to be another free tower for blue team.
Really playing this well. Graves really strong right now. This is when Graves really shines, because no one on the team has any sort of penetration, and Graves in that team fight with his passive stacking up gets so much magic resistant armor. So Graves so strong.
Once again, that Karthus does fall almost immediately. Ahri landing a beautiful charm and pulling him in Nautilus single ult damage, and there's the kill. Things are looking pretty grim for Team 9 right now. And Jarvan once again going in, but you're just not tanking enough. Those towers don't even matter. And Ahri getting another beautiful Zanya's Hourglass, dodging that fish. And flashes over the wall. She does get to safety. They are standing on the ward though. Can Caitlyn make anything of this? Caitlyn does pick up a kill on Leona. And the charm just does go down. Wow. That Caitlyn just got chunked to half. Nami whiffing her ulti, getting nothing off on it. And it does look like the chase is on. I don't think they're going to profit anything off this though. I do think that purple team really needs to just swing for Baron right now. 5-man Baron, they've picked off 2 targets. But Fizz does go in and gets insta-killed.
Fizz is trying to assassinate people, but just has no damage to be able to do it. When you're playing an assassin and you're behind, your best bet is to farm up. If you look at Fizz's ability power right now, he's at 92. And when you try to compare him to Ahri at 250, I mean, Rise...
That's no contest.
Like, he's just so far behind. And their item builds is really what's kind of costing them the game here. Without being able to do any sort of damage, and they're going for that defensive, but when you're this far behind, you have to try to catch people and split push a lane. So you want to be able to force at least 1 or 2 people and know that you can outduel them. Fizz right now, not able to outduel anyone on this team.
When you're playing an assassin, rule 1, if you kill them, they can't hurt you anymore. So build damage, kill them faster. That's rule 1 to playing assassins. Rule 2, if you die, you don't do damage anymore. So try not to die. And that's all you need to know to play an assassin. And Fizz just didn't build that damage.
Thrar with the pawn.
Oh.
That was pretty funny.
I do like that. I do like the puns.
Another free tower here for Best Book Club.
Not quite free because Jarvan does get the initiate. Karthus is getting in a decent position, but nothing is going to come out from it. He is not on anybody. Blue team just backing up perfectly. And here comes the ult. They are going to get Rise, but nothing else is going to come from it. I mean, Jarvan's going to get picked off low. Graves is just doing so much damage. He can almost ignore Caitlyn. And Nautilus picks up the kill on Jarvan. But here comes Fizz. Can Fizz assassinate Nautilus? But no, Nautilus' shield is way too strong. And Ahri does pick up another kill. It is now a 4-for-1 on purple side, blue side, blue side. That's the team I meant.
Karthus keeps turning his Defile on and off, and I'm not really sure why, but it's definitely costing him a lot of damage. When his Zhonya's procced, it didn't go off, or it turned off, and then when he died again, he turned it off. So
I think he's just pressing buttons at this point. Like, you know, I'm trying to hit Q as fast as I can. Oops, I pressed W.
Yeah, I'm not.
Or actually,
not
it's E,
sure.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is E.
GG button press.
Ooh, she wasted the flash for that too. That was costly for Caitlyn.
I think, you know, purple team could have gone back in this game. If they decided to take that Baron while they were still 5 versus 3, I definitely think they would have been able to just defensive Baron, hold it out, farm up, and prepare for that next fight.
Well,
Karthus
they have
is a
Caitlyn
super
with
late game.
the Blade of the Rune King, and then Karthus' Defile. They definitely had enough damage that they were able to do it. So, yeah, that was definitely a play that they could have made to kind of gain an edge and force the Best Book Club to kind of turtle off and give them a chance to farm up, farm the lanes, and then they could have contested for a fight with that Baron buff. Because the extra ability power and AD, regen, everything is a really huge advantage.
You also have to consider Karthus' Q does double damage when it only hits a single target.
Exactly.
So every single time he hits Baron, that's double the damage of what it's supposed to do. So we are 27 minutes into this game. The score is 27-7. Best Book Club leading by 13, almost 14,000 gold.
And
This is gonna spell disaster for purple team, as blue team does make one of their final pushes onto the inhib.
Fizz a little out of position. They're trying to have to wait for him.
I don't even think they could farm under tower right now. I mean, Nautilus does take the fish. Jarvan goes in. Here comes the Nami ult, but there is nothing to back it up. There is no damage. I mean, all the CC's already blown, and there's just no more damage on purple team to be given. And now blue team is just gonna go in and wipe up the rest of that team. So
And I'd
I
say
think
that's
this is the
GG
final
right
push.
there. Jarvan getting some fairly decent ultimates out, you know, really trapping in 3 or 4 primary targets, but his team just not able to follow up and do. Graves taking all kinds of dirt damage there though, almost dying from it. If the Requiem might get him here. Oh, so close.
Everybody's so low.
A pentakill for Karthus there probably would have made my day, but close but no cigar. The death cap instead of the Zhonya's, he definitely would have had it.
I think that, I mean, credit given to Jarvan for getting these great ults out, catching off the opponents in a you know, fairly good position. But I mean, blue team is just doing such a great job disengaging. Whenever Fish comes in, they just disengage. Whenever Jarvan ult, they just disengage. They just wait. They kill Karthus and they back off, and that's exactly what you want to do when you play against a Karthus.
They are
Kill
playing
him.
their team fight really well right now.
Yeah, they definitely are.
So, what they need to look to do here, I think, is, you know, they probably could just go in and take that Nexus tower. I think they're better off going, securing this, taking a free Baron, going back down to the bottom lane, getting that free inhibitor, and then making that last push into the Nexus.
It does look like they are going to take Baron, or at least clear it right now.
And
Purple team is kind of out of. They are running out of options very fast. I
Team
mean,
9's only option here was to contest this Baron and hope they could really force them all in there and counter the Baron damage on their side. Fizz, Jarvan both not in a position to really do anything. So it looks like this is just going to be a blue Baron and
Karthus going in for the steal. Not sure what Karthus stealing. Like I'm not sure how Karthus steals a Baron. Oh,
well,
Nami! That is the wrong bush. That is the wrong bush to stick your face in. That is scary.
I've seen a Janna Tornado steal it, so I think if anyone could.
Did you see the Fabi Baron steal? That was in the Fabi video the other day or today.
No.
He steals Baron with Blitzcrank's ultimate passive, static. He just walks up.
Random lightning bolt, eh?
Random lightning bolt takes Baron and he pieces out. Ooh, and there is the kill on Caitlyn. Ahri just dashing in, ignoring that tower. And once again, Fizz just doesn't have the damage. He gets those perfect fishes, but without the damage to back it up, the fish is useless. Ahri picking up a second kill with a set of Foxfire, and Jarvan just running around with home guards.
Isn't on. Keeps turning it on and off.
And there is the GG. Best Book Club gonna take it for round 2. And Best Book Club versus Team 9. Alright, so, thanks for watching, guys. I